Hey everyone, welcome to day 12. I can't believe it. We're almost to the end of the 14-day training and we'll move on to the next training. But for today, we are going to cover having better conversations. So you hear us talk a lot about inviting and creating a bigger friend base and people that you know. But how do you do that? So how does that all start? And it's all about the beauty of the conversation. And in our day and age, I know it can be tough because we have cell phones, texting. I mean, we do have Facebook or we're private messaging, but we've really got to encourage and get outside of our box to private message. Yes, on Facebook, I private message tons of people, but also get out of your box and really talk to people in person. So here's the key, guys. People love to talk about themselves. So if you are nervous on getting to know people and to talk to people, the biggest thing you have to realize is people want to talk about themselves. You've got to ask questions. You've got to make the first move. So initiating. Okay, start to be aware of your surroundings, and it could be at a store, it could be at a park, it could be in line somewhere. It could be at your kid's carpool. It could be at your office that you're working at. If you're in situations where you know there's people standing around, there's people around you, but you're quiet and you realize you don't say a word, or say you're in a doctor's office and your head's in your phone. I was going to say book. Like back in the day, we used to bring books for those kinds of things, but now it's our phone. So your head's down on the phone. It could be even on a vacation, and you could be on a beach, sitting somewhere, and I know you want to relax, but you would be surprised at who you could eat, or could be at a table. If you're sitting at a table with people and you just sit quietly, make sure you're aware of your surroundings and who you could actually open your mouth and say hello to. Again, you really have to go outside the box, guys. You will make people's day. You will, by simply saying hi. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I noticed that you are purchasing such and such. I've heard that is a great product. Or what are you going to use it for? I got that a week ago and I absolutely love it. You're going to love it. Engage them. It could be, like I said, here's a prime example for me. The Quan. First of all, I've moved a lot, you guys. If you don't know me, I have moved 5 times in 7 years. I've moved to the Midwest twice. I've moved to South Carolina, and then in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we've moved quite a bit. So now that I have two little girls, my place of where I meet the most people is the playground. And it's so funny. I noticed we went today, and I've noticed I look around and I see a lot of moms, one, who don't even engage with their kids at the playground, but that's a whole nother topic. I tend to really play with my kids when I try to. But I notice moms in their phones, which is totally fine. You need some break, but I see the phones, they're looking down. Or just, like I said, mom engrossed in their own, just being quiet, just being with their kids and just standing there quiet. And I kind of challenge myself now when I go to the park. I try to at least meet one mom, because I've only lived in this state for a year and I still don't have many friends, and I'm still looking to engage with friendships. So in my mind, that's the first thing that my intention is to make a friend. Or again, today's example is I overheard 2 moms talking about swim lessons and how they have this great person that they go to, and she's fabulous, and the kids started swimming in like a week. Well, my oldest has been slow to swimming, and we're trying to get her back into that. So the first thing I did, kind of weasel my way into the conversation, and I introduced myself. I said, I'm Sherry Rudolph, and I have a daughter that we really want to get swimming this summer, and I overheard your conversation. I would love to get in contact with you and the person that you are talking about. And I said, are you guys on Facebook? I would love to connect. I don't necessarily ask for their phone number or email right yet, because I feel like that's a little bit like kind of weird. Like that's personal information. At least on Facebook, if I friend them, they're able to see my page, who I'm about, and then accept me. So that's what I did. I said, I literally had a 10-minute conversation with them because I was just about to leave. And I was like, hey, I'm just about to leave. I'm Sherry Rudolph. I would love to know more about this person. I need to get Gianna into swimming lessons with an awesome teacher. And they were like, yeah. And so I friended 2 women. And that's my first, that's my invitation right there, or my 2 add-ons to my current group of friends list that I have, or your big list. And right then and there, simple. And then I said, you know what, thank you so much. I'll be in contact with you guys. Have a great day. And I'd love to do a play date maybe at the park. And they were like, yeah, that's great. And I had to go. And I was out. That's how quick. Yesterday, I was at a thing called Pet Palooza, where we brought our dog. And I was at the park. There was a wonderful couple that was right next to us, and she was pregnant, and Juliet kept saying, Mommy, baby in her belly. I said, yes. And she laughed, and I said, when are you due? And, the conversation flowed from there, and I found out that they had just moved here. They live not too far from me. And sure enough, I threw out there, hey, are you on Facebook? I would love to connect. Our kids are similar ages. We're both new to the area. And she said, sure. Boom. Right then and there. Again, guys, it's just making that initial conversation and seeing where there's an opening, opening a conversation. When, you do get that feeling of that, okay, it's okay for me to go in and talk and ask too. But anyway, so initiating, looking at your surroundings, really taking that as an opportunity to meet some great people. It's amazing. Some awesome people you can meet. There are times that I thank God that I introduced myself to some people, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have an amazing friend that I have in them today. So it's not even about Beachbody. That's the thing. Do not plan to talk about Beachbody. That's the last thing on your list. Make it about friendships. Make it about getting to know interesting people. That's what your plan should be. Just talk. Now, I do know I am a talker, and I wasn't always, but I am a talker, and it does tend to come a little bit easier. So I know if you're shy, that can be a little bit more difficult. But guys, you've got to get over your shyness. Put it aside, almost like fake it till you make it. If you listen to some of Shalene's talks, she talks about that shyness is an excuse. And it can also make people uncomfortable when you're shy. So try really hard to just push yourself. And the more you do it, the more you push past that fear, the easier it gets. And you know what? The worst that can happen is someone says, no, thank you. Like, no, thank you. I don't feel comfortable connecting with you or contacting you because I don't really know you. Guess what? Totally fine. And it wasn't meant to be anyway. So you move on. There's going to be a lot more people in this world that you will meet. So the biggest thing, guys, is forming. You want to form these people. Yeah, forming is a word that Beachbody uses. It's an acronym, F.O.R.M. F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and M is for message. Those are easy ways to start conversations, and especially when you are messaging on Facebook or Instagram, because then you're able to start with a question about their family. If you have a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time, scroll their profile page and ask about their family, or you see that somebody had a first communion, or somebody got married, or somebody had a baby. Start with talking about family, then move on. How is your job? Or I see you change jobs, or are you still working in the same field? Blah, blah, blah. And just keep moving on from there. And then recreation is, what are some things that you like to do for fun? Or I see you went hiking, and, ask something about that. How was it? Or their first time going to an aerobics class. You name it. People are putting things everywhere on Facebook that it's so easy to ask a question. What are you doing? Why? Oh, how was it? Oh my God, that's amazing. Tell me about it. And then the last thing is your message. And this is where Beachbody can come in. Your message. You can tie it in, because usually by that time people are going to say, hey, I've noticed that your posts, I've noticed your workout videos, I've noticed your motivation or your recipes on your Facebook, because at this point you're back in their newsfeed. You're back in their newsfeed, and they're going to be seeing what you're posting again, especially if you haven't talked to them in a while. So again, forming, and ask questions, guys, but ask questions and listen. Now, I know for myself, and this, again, since I'm a talker, it's really hard for me sometimes, because I just want to jump into the conversation and I want to talk and I have so much fun. And, you got to sit back and listen to what they're saying and then kind of regurgitate it and validate what they're saying. And try not to do the Me Too syndrome. You don't really need to mention that you also did or one up. So like someone will say, I went to Disney World. Oh, I did too. And again, this is something I am so guilty of, because you want that connection. And sometimes I think it's natural for us to feel like if we say me too, that we're connecting with them. But actually sometimes that can make people feel like, oh, here she goes again. She's talking away, or, she did it too. Instead, just say, oh my God, that's amazing that you went to Disney. How was your experience? What hotel did you stay at? And then obviously you could filter in some things like, oh, we went a few years ago too. And I heard that hotel was amazing, but flip it back onto them. But at least they'll know that you do understand what they're talking about. So guys, that's the quick video today, and it's simple. Get outside of your box, guys. Push past the shyness, push past the fear, be aware of your surroundings, and really see who's around you that you could strike up a conversation with, that you feel, hey, that looks like a really cool person. I'd like to talk to them. Use F.O.R.M.ing, family, occupation, recreation, and message. Always ask questions and listen, and forget about the Me Too syndrome. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.